Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? I just skipped the intro this time because I'm already kind of late, but welcome to my photo editing live stream where you can submit your images and I edit them here live online for on YouTube for you. And then also I put my image out there for you guys to edit because it's always fun to see what you guys do with mine. And I think it's very educational to see the edits that I do to your images and then see multiple images or multiple edits on one image from all of you. Uh, and there was some discussion. I guess it was the last time I did a live stream. Photo editing was about, some people just want to get critiques, right? Because you already know how to edit your pictures, and you just like critiques or my opinion on the image. And I can do that during these streams. Um, if you just name the file critique only, I think someone's done that here maybe. But if you name the file critique only, and then whatever file number, then I'll know you want me to only critique it or give an opinion. But that said, I think I'll try and include a little bit more of my thoughts while I'm editing. Even though there's basically a 4-minute time limit, uh, it seems like people are finding that helpful. And when I say critique, I use the term very loosely because I'm really in no position to critique anyone's pictures because I'm not like a judge or master photographer myself, right? But I can give you some ideas that if I were at that scene, how I would take that picture. Because sometimes there's glaring problems, right, with images. Like I saw a photo from someone, they emailed it to me. They were asking, well, how can I improve this? And, basically it was all tungsten lighting and everything was yellow. And he was at a high ISO and the way the person was sitting in the room, there was a lot of problems with that image that to somebody that's been doing photography for a while like myself, it's easy to spot very simple errors like that. So those are the kind of things I can find very easily. And then some of the more sophisticated things, uh, you know, I welcome any suggestions you guys give in the chat section. I'm sure the viewers here that have submitted their image would love to hear your opinion as well on how to improve the image or what you would do differently. And so I encourage that because we have a good group here. Nobody's mean or, uh, condescending, right? We're all here to learn and do our best for each other. So with that said, um, let's see what we can do. Um, and Rick says, YouTube always plays an advertisement when you start your stream, so we always miss your intro waiting for the ad to play out. Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. But usually you can skip the ads after 5 seconds or it plays out after 15 seconds. But yeah, that's a good point. Maybe I'll bring the intro back. Let's see who's here. So Scott Mumford's back. DeMarco. Oh, all you guys are back. Matt. Oh, hey, Matt. And then Rick, good to see you again. John Follows. John Yutse. Lauren, Ann, good to see you. Also the other, and Nature's back. Also the other suggestion from the other stream, because I go back and always read the chat comments, is have a place where you can submit your images and the viewers, other viewers can make comments, suggestions, or edit that picture. So like, just like I send my picture out to be edited, you guys send the picture out to be edited by multiple people. So that might be an interesting idea too. I mean, I'd have to pick one to do that live, but the other suggestion was, to put a spot in my forum where you can post an image and people can offer suggestions and make edits. And I've actually had that on my forum since I started it last year. And I'll just show you that real quick. But on my forum, and it's just robtrek.com/forum if you guys haven't been there. But right here, picture critique and feedback from forum members. And there hasn't been anything there in months, really. Um, But you know, you submit a picture and then people offer tips and things. It doesn't get a lot of activity. I guess it's easy to miss in the forum. But if you go back to the home page here and you scroll down under image threads, and then under image threads, it's here. So if you want to submit your image there and get people to edit and things, that's another way. So, and then in this, just below it, edit my photo. This is actually, I should rename it to say edit Rob's photos, right? This is where I put, you know, the original raw image and then all of the edits that I get during the live stream. I repost them here for you guys to look at. Um, again, so you can, you know, learn from them and you don't have to sit through 2 hours of stream just to look at these pictures, right? You can just go right to the forum. And I was a little slow this week. It took me a week to get them up, but eventually I do put them up there, so that's a good place to look too. Okay, so oh, Garrett, hello. And yeah, where's Plato? And Roman should be back soon too, I think. So some people edit their photos using delete key. So I don't know. Those were the ideas that were floated around last time because the photo editing streams get really long, right? Sometimes. There's not too many today. I should be able to get through them fairly quickly. But again, if you want me to critique them only, and I'll just do some minor editing maybe to show you what I'm thinking, just rename the file to critique. If you want to submit your photo to be edited by multiple viewers, um, let me know that as well. And I guess the best place to put that though is in the forum. I don't know how I could do that live. I'll have to give that some thought. But okay, let's go ahead and get started. And DeMorgan says he just sent a critique today. Okay. So first one up here is one from Stephen Page, and then I can look at the file name down here, right? And if you say the word critique only in there, then I know I don't really have to give too much thought to the editing part of it. I can just focus on the core elements of the photo. And then let me get my timer started. All right, so we're using, what are we using today? The EM10 Mark III with the 14 to 42 kit at 25 millimeters, f5, 180th, ISO 100, auto, single frame. Yep, that all looks good. Yeah, I think, right, the mark in the form would be fine. So yep, I don't see any suggestions there in terms of, there's no exposure bias. So the only thing I would do is this has all been blacked out, right? So let me see if there's anything there. So there's nothing here, right? So what I might have done is dialed in like a negative 2/3 of a stop, or maybe a third of a stop exposure comp to maybe save some highlights here uh, a little better. But because it's easier to push the shadows than to pull highlights generally. But this is a good clean blue. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go with some gradation, and this is a JPEG, so my dynamic range is limited already quite a bit, down to about just a few stops in either direction. So some gradation to bring up the shadows. Let's sharpen this up to about a 5 to bring out some of the brickwork. And then I also like to add um, some dehaze and clarity so I can bring out some, I'm sorry, the stonework a little bit sharper. Maybe clarity will help. Clarity is really good with speculars. And okay, so I think I'm going to center the silhouette a little bit. Uh, I'd have preferred if this was all silhouetted, but let me straighten it a little bit first. I can't tell if it's a keystoning error or if it's just the buildings are crooked because they're old. But let's even this out. Weird, but am I going to balance this? Because this arch is a little off center. I don't think we need that much negative space. See how that looks. Okay, that's a little better. Maybe a slight. Wait, let me crank the dehaze all the way up. And the clarity. Then we're going to push the shadows a tiny bit. Or the midtones. Let's pull in some of the blacks. Work on the specular some more. And sorry, I thought I heard something. And a little bit strong. And white balance it a tiny bit cooler. That's it. All right. Oops, a little bit too cool. Right about there. So there's a before and after. Very subtle edit. It's just too much negative space, basically. And I brought up the shadows with gradation mostly, but then brought in the stonework detail using clarity and dehaze. And I think this would look good in a black and white as well. I mean, if I just convert that, not that not that the color was bad, but this image could go either way. All right, let's see. We have one here from Scott Mumford, and I have a nice little street scene here. I'm going to look at this full screen just to get a feel for its presence. This lighting is really strong here. But you're standing in the shade, kind of. I don't know what this is here, this vignetting. Maybe you had a lens hood on. Whoops, wrong button. Let me look at the EXIF real quick. Oh, this is an E510 with its kit lens at f7.1 ISO on. Yeah, this is all good settings. IBIS is off. Interesting. I don't know, why would you turn off IBIS? Anyway, and this is an ORF, but yeah, this old camera doesn't have a lot of dynamic range. But when I can't recover color, I usually just go black and white. Let me stay in color for now. Compositionally, and I don't have any art filters because it's an old camera. No adjust color. Try some dehaze. Yeah, this looks like a lens hood, not vignetting actually. But the haze is not bringing much back either. How about clarity? Yeah, I like that. All right, clarity's working. And just push the midtones up a little, pull this back. Let's warm it up. 7,000. Just to give it that kind of glow. And crank up the saturation. Oh, you want to see full screen before I edit? Yeah, I can do that. That helps, right? A little bit. It helps me too, actually. If I do low key, then I need to push a little bit more. Eh, I don't like the low key. Go back to normal. Maybe some, let me try. Oh, we don't have gradation on. So, uh, do it with the tone curve. Add a little saturation. Contrast. I think sharpening will give me a little better contrast too. So let me just do a little bit. Okay. That, a lot of the colors washed out though. Clarity didn't help. The haze, I don't think it's going to help either. Just a little. There's just so much glare. Oh, back to green. Let me work on this composition now. So now it's kind of a gritty color. If I do that. There we go. A little bit more in the mid-tone. Oh, out of time. All right, so there we go. So I think the image on the left, I got rid of this whole piece here. It was just weighing the picture down, and it didn't add really any value, in my opinion. Um, so yeah, I think the one on the right, just I like that gritty color feel to it. I think it goes with this scene pretty well. And added a little sharpening and dehaze and clarity, all of the stuff to kind of make it gritty and sharper looking in a way. But I think that's a nice picture now. And then warmed it up some, right? Okay. Yeah, glare's okay sometimes, but it was a little bit too much here, in my opinion. But um, okay, Scott. Yeah, I hope you like that. But yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now we can really see this guy and all these people in here. Let's see. Wow, this is an interesting picture. Um, this person is looking over to the left. This one's got a kid with them. Some interesting symmetry here. And this tree shadow. So, all right, let me give this some thought. Uh, oh, hey, Neo, how are you? Yeah, it has been a long time. Good to have you back. And we did here what? Olympus EM10 Mark II with a 45 at 5.611 thousandth. Yep, all good settings. SIS3, so you must have been panning. Well, you weren't panning because everything is sharp here. This one, I'm going to work on the composition first. I don't know if I don't know if straightening it out or going full on Dutch would be better. If I do full on Dutch. Did a square. Too much Dutch. I mean, the shadows are kind of neat too, but I want to frame it a little bit differently. Okay. Then I'm gonna go black and white. You just grab this without, yeah, I know. You have to act fast with moving shots, right? Black and white. Let's see, maybe, let me see what colors they were wearing. Red. All right, so let's bring that red back out with a red filter. There we go. And maybe a 16 by 9. Yeah. We just add a ton of the haze, about a quarter on the clarity. I don't think we need gradation. We can definitely go brighter. Silhouette some of the shadows. Push. Maybe some gradation. Let me just a touch to bring out a little more detail on this dude. Okay. And some vignette. All right, let's try a different crop. Someone wanted me to try 16 by 9. Actually, I like that. Let me just come in a little bit tighter this way. That's not bad. It's a little bit heavy on the right side, though. Try that. I don't know if a 16 by 9 is quite right for this scene. Let me go back to the original. I get any squeeze any more? Less Dutch, maybe. All right, I'm out of time, so I'm going to go with this. Um, yeah, I think the wide crop is better. I agree. So, yeah, I just went black and white because the reds just didn't go with the scene, in my opinion. So I just got rid of all the color because the colors just were kind of bland anyway. Um, and then just made the blacks a little blacker, and that's about it, really. I mean, it needs a tad of sharpening, maybe about there. So just that little bit of sharpening, and we're good. And I like the Dutch angle. I was debating making it straight, but then that would look, I don't know, I don't think square would look good either. The main thing is just getting rid of the left side of this image, of this wall. And this grate didn't help either. So going Dutch kind of eliminated two distractions in the image, in my opinion. Okay. Um, let's see what else we got. Okay, I've seen this shot before, not this shot, but this location before. Yeah, there's the log with the plants. Yeah, I remember we focused on this last time. Um, so EM5 Mark III with a 12 to 45, 13 millimeters. So you're pretty much wide, 100. Yep, looks good. ISO bracketing, interesting. All right. Wow, still not a great angle. The last one was a wasn't a great angle either because there's so many things in the image. Um, this big chunk of boat here in the front is too heavy. And these are a little bit too far away. And then this post here, oh my God. This is John. Um, look at it full screen again. I think, okay, I'm gonna go vertical and try and balance this this heavy part here, balance it with the top. So we have some foreground object, middle ground, and then the background. So now this technically 3 layers of depth versus the way it was before, the depth wasn't quite there or as stark. Had a little dehaze, definitely some sharpening, and uh, maybe a tad warmer. Try vivid clarity, more clarity. This will help bring the trees out a little better. We'll have to send Trekkie to art school for 5 years. I'm still not getting good contrast here. There we go. Now a little gradation. And pull this in again. Light tilt this way. I think that's it. I need to shift. Let me shift some of the yellows. I need to go to the blue channel. I get a little, it's mostly in the midtones. It feels a little bit yellow. So I push this. The shadows rich though. Go to the green channel. I still got 20 seconds. Highlights in the greens, maybe no. A little bit more reds. Magenta, I guess, on the green channel. Yeah, all right, that's it. I shouldn't have played with the colors that much, but um, so again, this image on the left, the challenge here is there's a lot of really ugly things in it, right? I hate this power bank over here. I don't really like this boat the way it is in the frame because it just makes the whole left, bottom left too heavy. Um, and then again, like I was saying, I don't feel there, even though there's depth here, it's not really bringing you into the picture, right? So this crop on the right, definitely you have a very strong foreground now. Instead of a bottom left being heavy, it's the whole bottom half or third of the image. And then you have the boat behind it, and then the tree line behind that. So now I feel like there's more depth. And then I just played with the color and contrast from there. Okay. Um, this kind of busy scene often lends itself to creating a magazine double page spread type with a big context image or smaller. And yes, that makes sense. Um, Lauren says just the bottom left boat. Really? Maybe, right? That's true. If I square crop it, let me try Lauren's idea. I kind of like that idea. It might be too tight that way. All right. Anyway, you get the idea. All right, so we have a butterfly picture from Jack. Good detail. It's not quite close enough for a 60 macro, but it's pretty sharp. So I'm going to guess cell phone. Okay. So all this data, 1 second shutter speed. Oh my God, that's amazing. Why are there two shutter speeds? 1/234 and 1/1. I don't get that. So exit data doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm definitely gonna square this off. And here's a full screen, but it needs to be rotated. Um, let's do a full screen here. All right, so we definitely need to sharpen it more. I'm gonna just crank that up. Yeah, that's good. And let's do a pop art to bring out the colors. Yep, that looks good. And then I'm gonna square it off. Just the moth. I wish I could get rid of that. I hate this square thing in the corner. It's a little distracting, but uh, I don't think, yeah, I don't have enough room to crop in and get rid of that, so we'll leave it. But we'll throw in a vignette to kind of mitigate that to some extent. That didn't help. All right, let's work on clarity is really good with bugs. That'll that'll really give it some pop there. Then let's push the shadows a tiny bit. Whoops, that's the green channel. Uh, yeah, that's looking good. Push that a little more, then pull it here. Needs a little dehaze because this corner is a little bit soft. And now I don't have to pull this quite as much. Down lower. Let me check the crop again. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can't do anything without chopping off something. So actually, this is pretty much it. Maybe just go a little wider, 4x5. Come up. That. All right, I think I'm done. Um, so there's the before and after. So yeah, I mainly wanted to bring out the details and color, right? Then the crop is very subjective, but it's already so tight in here. My mouse. If I punch in, I think we definitely see a lot more detail. I mean, it's a little gritty, but that's only when you punch in. So I think that looks good now. Very basic edit. It's just a little bit soft up here, but it's okay. And now we can see this actually looks a little blue in here instead of just this is a black. All right, I think that's from, it looks like maybe a little fringing in the lens because it's a little cell phone lens. All right, let's go to the next one. Let's see. We got one here from Randy. And yeah, little herd of cattle or oh, it's buffalo. Cool. Got a nice trees in the background and then this ugly grass. So yeah, this is going to be a wide crop and tilt. And EM1X with a 12-100, awesome lens, 540, 1/500th. -1 and a third EV. That's interesting. I don't, I wouldn't have pulled it that. I would have done 2/3 maybe. But since we don't have much sky anyway, I'd have probably just exposed this uh, at 0 EV and just let the camera deal with it. As you can see, the histogram is way over here to the left. This is way too dark in here. So we need a slight tilt. 1 degree maybe. Come in just a little tighter on the right. Down. And some gradation. We did hit the gradation. I'll just turn it on to be sure. Yeah, this is going to be a little rough because everything got pulled. Everything got pulled to the left. We're already in vivid, but this grass is still very mundane. And the colors in here, I know what to do. I'm just going to soft focus it. And then now I can work with this a little bit better. Pull here and then crank up the saturation. And a tiny bit of clarity. White vignette. Oops, that's not vignette. Oh, I didn't put a timer on, but I got a feel for 4 minutes now. Maybe a little tiny bit of dehaze for some contrast. That looked good actually. About there. A little bit more on the clarity. And tiny bit warmer. Tiny bit of magenta. A little bit less. You went way different, huh? I'll check your Flickr out. I'm sure it's over there. Um, I think that's it. So you'll never get used to white vignetting. I don't know. I've been kind of enjoying it lately. If you look at my Instagram, I have a lot of white vignetted type stuff today or this week. All right, so yeah, I think the only mistake here was really -1 and a third EV. I don't know why you would do that here. But going with a soft vignette, I had to do that because it was so dark. So adding a soft focus brightens everything up, but then doesn't bring a lot of grain in. And then the white vignette just to kind of accent that softness. Um, because this grass up here is so busy. The only thing I think in Lightroom, what I would do is accentuate some of the reds here in these bushes. I really like these little hints of red. I tried to add magenta to bring those out, but it didn't really come through. But I think that looks good. at least to me. You like my vignettes, DeMorgan, or you use that a lot? You didn't say you liked them, you saw them. Oh, thank you, Anne. Thank you, Nature. The Wild West vignette. That's right. And I think DeMorgan says critique. Okay, so here's a case where he just wanted a critique, right? I don't really have to edit much, but um, let's look at it full screen. I really like the clouds and the way the lighting is here on the field. It just goes with the clouds really well. Somehow this green and this orange complement each other. Or not complement, but are congruent. I don't know. There's a word for color that these two go together. Not in a complementary way, but in a different way. I guess red and green is complementary, and that's what I'm seeing here. But this is like an orange and yellow green. But it's too wide. I don't need to see the whole field. I think I would focus just right on this. Too heavy in the blacks here. So I would definitely just crop in nice and tight. Uh, maybe not, maybe right there. Oof, too much in the bottom. A little bit of framing, a little straightening, and this is this to me is a little better composition, right? You still retain all of the beautiful sky, but now you can really see the field, and it balances better and complements the sky more. And then I just tried to balance the right and left side in terms of this building and this tree just for weight. uh, so if I were there at this particular scene, I would have walked up a lot closer or zoomed in. Probably walking up would be better, but keeping your angle wide. That way you get more of the sky in the field. You don't want to compress the scene too much with a telephoto lens. And I think, and stadium lights are distracting. Agree to crop in or Photoshop. Interesting. I guess I would crop this out, except then this right side might be a little too heavy. Let's try that real quick. The lights don't bother me, but if I crop in equally, maybe. The lights don't bother me because the lights are what's causing the lighting on the field. I think that information is I think this information of the lights there is part of the story of the image, right? We have artificial lighting on the ground, but then we have this beautiful natural lighting in the background. So to me, this tells a better story, if you want to call it a story. But okay, DeMorgan, that's what I think. I lost the blue hues. If I wanted to keep that a vertical, right? This is essentially the same crop. What I don't like about this, though, is it's too much black on the bottom. Um, I'd have to narrow it a tiny bit, maybe 4 by 5 vertical, and then just come in a little tighter like that. That's another way to do it, right? But to me, that's too much sky. Personally, for me, it's too much sky. It's just way out of balance. And if there was something to balance in the foreground, like more green grass, that would be great. But we only have a little patch of grass, right? I don't think this works quite as well just to save the sky. But all right, like I said, it's all a matter of preference, right? Um, all right, let's do the next one. Do not edit cropped image. So DeMorgan, I guess this is another critique. I don't know. There's nothing here to critique. It's just a picture of grass, and I don't have any context of what this is. So what I would do is probably, oh, tobacco is cropped. It's a joke. All right. I'll pass on this one then, because there's really nothing for me to critique here. It's just a picture of this grass and these bushes. All right. Let's see, Lauren. We have some railroad tracks. Let's full screen it. I gotta remember to do that for you guys. Um, Lauren's shots are always really cropped, nice and tight already. I rarely have to do any cropping. And this one I can't do any, really. I think, oh, I get it now. All right. Okay. That was over my head. I got it now. I was reading the chat section. Now I get it. Um, God. So let me set up the timer. So I think I'm not sure. I don't need to edit this at all. And what was this? Your Canon, right? Canon with the 50 millimeter 10 800th ISO 2000. Wow, interesting. Um, yeah, setting wise, I'm not going to argue. It's close enough. I would have definitely used a lower ISO and slower shutter speed for something like this, but I don't see the what bothers me about this image actually is the are the tracks up here. It's just not framing the image too well. And then there's a bright spot here. So if I see this is a usually it's a 3 by 2, right? No, 4 by 6. Oh, you cropped this off the camera, so that's why it's not its native crop. Take a little bit off there, a little bit here. Come back up. I think that's it. I would like a little bit more contrast. Like these are nice and black, but I want these to be a little bit whiter, the reds. I don't know if I can do that on a red channel. Make them more red. Awesome, Randy. Go get some good snow-covered mountains. That'll be great. We'll catch you later. Uh, this is really only changing the color. It's not doing anything with luminance. More reds, stronger greens. I can't separate the grass. I think I'll leave it there. Um, I like it though. I like this repeating pattern of the tracks. You know, train tracks are great repeating pattern type shots, right? Oops, this button. Yeah, the only thing that bothered me about this picture was just this white spot up here in the top left corner. it just distracts, I think, from the rest of the image. And this is the only difference I would make, really. Make it slightly redder, and that's it. Okay. But yeah, really cool. Definitely a cool shot. And let's do the next one. All right. So I gotta, it's crooked, I think. Although the poles are relatively straight. So it's on a hill. And you guys know I hate hills. Man. All right. What do we use here? Who sent this? Anne? Okay, Anne. Were they on a hill? EM10 Mark II with the 40 to 150 at 5.41, 250 ISO 200 plus 1 EV. Um, Fair enough. That's a good call there. Plus 1 EV. Okay. Um, I like the center here. Yeah, it's on a hill, right? I still got to straighten it a tiny bit. Just a little. And I like this little baby calf in the middle. Oh, it's all right, Anne. Hills are hills. What are you gonna do? Uh, Bye. Just comment on those two guys. Trying to get this frame here like this. And I gotta straighten it. I know it's on a hill, but all right. Back in some sharpness. Noise filter off. Good. This is another one. I feel like I really like this little guy here. Um, if I can bring out some color. Move the Holland, everything is flat. That's too much. Too much color. Let me let that render and see. It may back now. That's too strong. All right. So I'm gonna warm it up a little more. We'll go to Vivid. Tack on a little bit more here. Yeah, about that. Too much tilt and the cows will fall over. Too much saturation. Ah, I'm doing a white vignette again. Sorry. Right. Oh, I don't have that effect. So yeah, I think that's it. Um, there we have it. Definitely the colors warming up the image a little bit. Just It's a little bit too cold on the left side. So I just warmed it up and that brought out the colors, I think, a lot better. Then soft focus with some white vignette, and I think that makes for a nicer image and a little tighter crop, obviously. So we can see a little more. I mean, I could almost crop in on this one scene, right? We don't really need this, but having them both there is kind of interesting too, I think. Uh, but okay. Lauren says outside frame with black and white. Yes, that's definitely because if I do this in black and white and then put a red filter, maybe orange filter to make this guy a little brighter, that kind of works, but I like the color better. Okay, for the next one. Oh, we have Kilo, and this got to be Luray Caverns because, I mean, I haven't been there since I was a little kid, but I know you're fairly local to me, so I think that's why this is, I'm assuming it's Luray Caverns. And let's see what we used on the XF EM1 Mark II with a 7 to 14. Yep, all good stuff. F2.8 1/10, ISO 1000. So yeah, you were struggling in low light there. Um, let me let me just look at this for a second to see if compositionally I would do anything different. This is one of those like just travel shots, right? You're not trying to be artsy fartsy or anything about it. So I think for this image, my approach is just going to be just to make it as nice as possible without doing anything too artsy. So I don't know. I'm going to just do one thing and see if there's any mix of colors. Not really. I saw a little bit of green up here, but that's not going to cut it. Then I want to see what's in the shadows first. So we have the stairway. Okay, Plato, we'll see you next time. Oh, there's just some tiles. All right. Um, let's bring it down a little bit, actually. Try and save some of the highlights. And then we'll use the gradation to bring back the shadows a little bit better. Uh, and let's push this, pull this. And I want to just, I don't need the left side too much. Maybe something a little bit heavy on the right, though. If that balances a little better. I'm just watching my corners here to see if they sort of lead you into the frame. Let's go with that. Back on some sharpening. Turn off the noise filter. Um, Actually, I'm going to try dramatic tone filter here. I know I said I wasn't going to get creative, but as I was working on this, I was like, you know, a dramatic tone filter would be interesting. And then I just have to back the saturation off a little bit. Maybe, maybe a lot. Okay, let's cool it off. And that cold will give us a little more separation of color. And let's tilt it this way. I'm getting a crick in my neck. Is there a way up for the bottom? I never did jump in the cave. No. This right side is still a bit too heavy. Man. I'm out of time. Let me just tilt it a little bit more. Okay. I did my best to balance the left and right of the image and top to bottom. And now at least the person here is a little more prominent too. Ugh. I'm really not crazy about this edit. I'm gonna give myself a little extra time. Go 1.5. Yeah, vertical would be better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, now I'm done. All right, so there's the before and after. I I just didn't like the landscape, you know. So going portrait or vertical, I think gives the stalactite things just look longer and taller. And since you're pointing down anyway, I think a vertical works better. Uh, and then dramatic tone to bring out, all of the details, right? And I think that looks pretty good. Definitely, I think a little stronger image. Okay. Um, all right. Well, thanks for sending it in, Kiloan. Let's see. We have here one from Phil. Nice kind of sunsetty picture. Maybe on a golf course because this is grass is very well manicured here. So, um, and this is what do we shoot with? EM10 Mark II. Some weirdo lens. I have no idea. It looks like an adapted Canon lens. 1/5 of a second f9. Oof. I would have done definitely like f4 and bumped the shutter speed and lowered the ISO, all that good stuff. So yeah, you don't need f9 on a shot like this. All right. Yikes. The color is so nice here, but I don't know if I can save it. Try some gradation. Off this noise filter. The sharpening. Add a little bit more. Do a slight tilt. And A little bit less. Try that. The bottom just feels cut off now, though. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. Just for now. I may go back and change it. Am I losing another person? Who's heading out? Rick is leaving. Okay, Rick, we'll see you later. Thanks for dropping in as always. White balance. Oh, what if we go a little stronger here? Blowing out the highlights. Back it off this way. And now I can push it a little bit. Ah, I silhouetted all the trees. I don't know. I don't like this crop. Out of time. I'm gonna go with this. I mean, the only other thing that might work is a soft focus. Let me just try something. Um, I need to crop in a little tighter on the left because I tilted it. There's a little bit of black. I crop in a little bit here. Why? All right. This is. I had the right crop. Dang it. Maybe that'll do. No, I liked it the way it, I hate when that happens. It just all the way back out. All right, close enough. So there's the before and after. I just didn't like anything on the bottom. Basically, all of this is just the mess down here. So just cropped in up here, soften it up a little bit, and I think that looks okay. This is a tough shot to take, right? When you're in the field because the dynamic range is so high. So you're gonna have to silhouette something. There's really no way to recover shadows and things in a shot like this. Uh, and the only thing down here is just not all that interesting or good looking. So that's why I cropped it that way. Um, maybe go a little higher on the crop. because this is a little bit busy down here on the bottom left, but I think that looks all right. All right, Phil, let's, that was the last one there. Let's go to Lightroom. And close that. Ah, hold on, it's not done loading yet. Why it's, there we go. The viewer edits and synchronize. Make these red. Okay, so let's see. I need to do this one. Okay, so start here. Do a full screen. A blue jay mix or something. Some kind of blue jay bird. Um, and he's got some lunch there. Good caterpillar. Awesome. Just a little bit soft. But not bad. Okay, once I punch in, it looks good. All right, so we can work with this definitely. All right, this is from Garrett using a Sony A58 ISO 400. Yep, all looks good. Not bad. The settings aren't bad. A little faster shutter speed would have been nice because as a practice for small birds like this, but you nailed it anyway. It's a blue tit. Thank you. Thank you, Tony. That sounds right. Um, Let me just square it off. Rid of that. Let's see. That looks kind of okay. A little tighter. And work with the, pull off some color noise, sharpening, narrow it down to just the bird. Whoops, whoops. Let me punch in just to make sure. Okay, that's good. All right. And let's try and tilt it. I can do that. Okay, click auto here. Give it a little clarity for the wings. Tiny bit more texture. Now it's getting too gritty. Hold on. Tiny bit. And it needs to be a little warmer. Uh, See some vignette. Back it up. And this green, let me try and shift the greens a little bit. Since the bird doesn't have any green in it, I can shift the color. Work on this. Oh, I got 48 seconds. Let me see. Greens, if I can shift those to be. Oops. No. There's a little bit of green in the bird, so I can't touch that. All right. I think that's it. All right. So there we go. There's the before and after. It just basically, oh, it's not rendering. Hold on. There we go. So the main thing was just the sharpening, right? And then cropping in. I could throw in some noise reduction. Let me try that. I got a little bit of grain in there. Let me just throw in about a 30 or 40. Okay. So there's the before and after, right? This is the before here on the right. Let me switch it back. I think that looks pretty good. So yeah, I got rid of most of the noise there. Brought the sharpening back. Not bad. I didn't really crank the colors though. Uh I like to do colors kind of this way. There. It's a little rich, but okay. Now I'm done. Let's go to the next one. Um wow, this is pretty. I love this golden hour, like the sun punching in here. And the vertical, so you intentionally wanted to keep all these trees. All right, let's see who sent this in. This was from, gotta be Surge with an X100. Let's see. Yeah, I knew it. Surge, 1500 f2, yep. Decent settings for Fuji. Um, it's crooked a little bit, so I gotta straighten it. And I think I can come off the bottom and just keep the one trees, set of trees. No problem, Garrett. Just a little tighter. And we got good detail. Auto here. Oh, I didn't put my timer or put, I'm out of battery. 1 second. Not that you guys need to see my ugly face, but let me. All right. No, we ain't in Iowa anymore. What are you talking about? Okay, let's see. Let me work on the sharpening a tiny bit. Is it? Crank that. Mask it out. Oh, we got lots of wiggle room here. Let me back off. There we go. Okay. Now there's some green in here. Me, I can separate those. Ah, I'm gonna actually, I did all that work on the sharpening, but I'm gonna go soft. Then, yeah, I'm a flat earther. Definitely. If the world was flat, I'd be so happy. Photography would be so much easier, right? I need a way to, and I'm gonna pull the orange off. A little bit too strong. We just light paint a little bit here. Exposure comp. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Maybe, maybe just a little bit. Ah, that looks like crap. I'm gonna call it right there. So I forgot to turn the timer on, but that's about 4 minutes and compare. All right, so yeah, just a little tighter crop. I would have liked to got more of the the shed in on the left side because it's cut off there. Um, but I think that looks pretty good. Um, just right here on the left side is cut off. I don't like that, but other than that, and maybe a little more headroom on the trees. Okay, nice shot though, Serge. And let's see, we have a crow or a raven. I'm not sure which. There's a way to tell. I don't know how, but uh, so we're at a relatively high ISO 2000 from Stephen Page, 75 to 300. I forgot to see. Oh, that was Serge. Yeah. Dang, another hill. Seriously, and the bottom is cut off. So yeah, this is a problem. So I think rather than keep that, I'm gonna crop in. Uh, just go with like this. Too tight. I gotta keep everything to make this look right. All right, that's fine. Then straighten it a little bit. Okay, let's fix some of the noise real quick. It's mostly color noise. Do that. Sharpen up to about there. Okay. Clarity. Well, let's just try auto first. Clarity. Just a little bit of texture. The haze. All right, let me pull off some of the grain. Punch in here. Yeah, right about there. Okay, that feels pretty good. Now, let me work on the color a little bit. Maybe a little warmer, a little less magenta. And all the blacks. I can get some of the color in there. Right. Okay. Some vignette, and I'm going to call it there. But, um, okay, I am done. Okay, compare. All right. Yeah, I'm not crazy about the crop, but I think the editing is good. Now we can see the different shades of blue and purple in the bird itself a little better. And certainly it feels sharper, even though technically it's just fake sharpening. But it feels a little sharper because of the crispiness that the clarity brings in. And then playing with, 10 different sliders, right, for the rest of it. I wish the tail didn't get cut off in any way, shape, or form, but since it did, I just decided just crop a little more off. And that's it. Okay. And let's see. I have one here. Bakery, something, something. Oh, thanks everyone. You guys think I'm doing okay today, huh? I try. I don't know what this is a G81 f1.7 1600 ISO 200 from Dawood. Okay, Dawood. Um, I've never been a fan of these kinds of shots. I mean, it's a nice close-up of this, like, whatever this is, some kind of bird going into this sign. But I always like to see the store itself whenever I take a picture of the sign. I mean, make the sign prominent, but I like to see the store too. Um, I feel like, okay, I'm gonna go, your settings are fine. You know, base ISO with a fast shutter speed. Uh, Square it off. I don't know if I need to see everything, but right, and the building is cutting off. All right, try, try really tight. If I can get any of that building out. Not really, because then the sign will be, mm, a little taller. I'd like to be right there, but then the building is in the shot. I mean, I like the feathers over there, but then I think that's the best I can do because the building. But that's the problem with this shot is this is in the dark area and then this is all in the bright. So now everything looks kind of off to me. Let me just click auto here, pull the highlights in. If we can bring some of the detail with clarity into haze. Shadows again. Pull the white. To the blue is interesting, but I'll bring the blues back in with a little vignette. Pull the luminance up here. Way. What are these? Same colors. Need shadow. Push the haze back a little. All right, let's pull in a vignette. Hopefully that'll bring some of the blues back in. Kinda does. All right, I'm out of time. Okay. Uh, let's compare. So yeah, the whole left side is screwed here. There's some beautiful work in the here, but because it's in this building, it just doesn't work. So I just try to clean the image up, minimize the elements in the image to um, to the basics, right? Just the sign and the bird holding it, holding the sign is enough visual interest, I think, by itself. But it'd been really nice to see this whole thing. So you definitely have to get a different shot or compose this somehow. I don't know how you would do it on this scene because I wasn't there. It may not even be possible, really. But okay. Uh, let's go to the next one. And I think we're trying a starburst, but maybe not. It's not really starbursty. Let's see, XH1. Interesting camera. I almost bought one of those. And we're at f7.1, 1400th, ISO 250. Yeah, all good settings. And wow, I like this. Sorry, my phone is. I like this shot. It just needs to be warmer. Something like that. Let me click auto here. The whites a little bit. Oh, that's shadows. Push the whites. Yeah, let's go with that. And pull the blacks. Let me see what auto white balance does. Yeah. What was that shot? That was very cold. So I'm gonna go shade. All right. That's kind of that's not quite the look I want. Try this again. Oh, you have a bird there. This needs a little bit of the skewing also. Let me see if the auto will do it. I doubt it. It didn't, yeah, it didn't. Needs to be a little bit taller. Then let's see if we can give this image some visual interest. A little bit heavy on the right side with these trees. Maybe just a simple vertical. It doesn't look right. Funny. The horizon here, but I'm losing the fence. Need all of the fence? Probably not. Let me see how that looks. Oh, I need more fence. I need more cowbell. You remember that? I need more cowbell, but in this case, I need more fence. And all right, I got a minute, so let's work with some of the. I I, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get it sharp enough. Uh, I pull it back some. You dehaze it, tiny. shadow. Whites. The problem I'm having, and I'm out of time, but this is the last one, so I'm going to give this a little bit more. Not happy, but I got to end it. I can't spend too much more time on it. It's just a little bit too warm. Let's see how we did. I'll compare. Oops. One. All right. So, whoops. So there's the before and after. Uh, yeah, just this tree line on the right was just heavy and pulling pulling your eye away from the scene here. So vertical, right? Not the best job on the highlights. I mean, they were blown anyway, but uh, I think, I think that works. I think that works. Who is this one? This was from, oh, Marcel. Okay, Marcel. Oh, you like this? Okay, thanks. And Tony liked the original better. Okay. And it adds depths and angles. I like the cooler look for snow scenes. Yeah. I mean, it's easy enough to go a little bit cooler, right? I'm a little bit too warm here. I agree. I agree with that. Maybe back it off there. I mean, that looks good too, right? If we compare. If you want a cooler look for snow, that'll work. Um, but all right, let's look at the viewer edits. I think I have 15. Leave the right bottom post to the left. Maybe. Pull this off and put in red. Pull this off. Okay. So let me find the original image real quick. This is a picture I took yesterday or day before. I don't know. I took this pretty recently, a couple days ago, over the weekend. Uh, Very cloudy, right? I mean, the clouds were changing so fast. It'd be like almost no cloud in the sky one minute, then the next minute it was like this. But it was most of the time it was like this, kind of cloudy. So it's a very bland, low contrast image. And I did edit this. I'll show you my edit maybe at the end if I can find it quickly enough. But I thought it was an interesting scene, other than it was just very, very messy. So let's look at the viewer edits. And yeah, very busy, right, Steven? You got it. Um, okay. So we got a sepia here with a little bit of color right in here. I would say Lauren because it's sepia, but I don't know. Let's see. Anne, all right, Anne. The sepia. I like the crop and the sepia. Yeah. This kind of works. Makes it look kind of old. I'd have probably left these people kind of in a sepia color too. But they stand out now. So there's a couple different ways to think about that, I guess. That's a good edit. And oh, this is very gritty. But I like the balance of putting the tree here on the right and then letting the rest of the scene kind of frame the tree. I mean, the thing I didn't like, oh, all right, Lauren, we'll see you later. Thanks for dropping in as always. I appreciate it. Always enjoy your chat. Um, but yeah, I like this edit. This feels like a surge edit for some reason. Let's see. Oh, Matt did this. God, I have no idea. Let me just, sorry, I have to click on it sometimes for it to render. Now it looks even better. Yeah, I like this edit. I like, I like square crops for some reason. I don't know why. And I like gritty images too. So this is nice. And this is a nice wide crop. Very good editing. It feels, let me just punch in a little bit. Yeah, this feels good. Nice sharpening. I bet this is Walter. This feels like a Walter edit to me, Walter Rowe. I'm just guessing. Because he's really good at sharpening details and things. And then he keeps the dynamic range really at its extremes, right? Because we have almost white here, then almost black here, and then very good sharpening. So this always, I'm almost 100%, 99% sure this is Walter, but let's see. If not, there's one other person that uses Capture One that's really good with, does very similar to Walter. Oh my God, Raho. Somebody totally knew. I have no idea, but thanks, Rod. You did a good job. This is very similar to Walter, who does really good editing. So this is a really good edit. Wow, look at that. This is some kind of plate processing look. This is very interesting. And I like how there's still color right here, just like Anne did. And the lighting is draws your eye over to this couple. Um, and then by making it even busier than it already was, it sort of numbs the eye to make it look, I don't know how to explain it, but um, this is really good processing too. Who did this one? I have no idea. Scott Mumford. Wow. Good job, Scott. I really like the editing right here. The entrance to Mordor. Funny. All right, Dave Nelson. Or somebody doing a spoof on Dave because we have a fire. We got our flames. But this cracking up here is kind of like Matt's processing too. But I like the tones. Slight hint of green and blue all over. I really like that. Um, Kind of a cyan tint to it. So yeah, I like that. This is Scott Mumford again. Wow. Okay, Scott, you are 2 for 2 today. Was this yours? Yeah. Okay. So yes, this I suspected it because I saw this same pattern in the previous one, but I like the processing here a little better. And wow, this is another plate kind of look to it, kind of a wet plate look. Nice wide crop. Now I can really see this line of trees here on the right, and then the bridge, and this couple balances the left side very nicely. So this is a really good crop, super wide. And then the processing, that's kind of to taste. I'm not a fan of like wet plate looks, but it is a nice crop, definitely. Stephen Page, good job. Good job on this. I really like the crop more so than this wet plate look, but it looks really good over here. And then this, of course, is what it is. It's there. It balances nice. And this one here, another little bit of a tight crop. And let me punch in to make sure it's rendered. Okay. Not bad. I'm not crazy about this toning though. A little bit too greenish looking to me. Um, but yeah, it's a nice clean crop, good clean edit. It's not so flat or mundane like the original image. John follows. Okay, John, not bad. Definitely not as flat as the original, but I don't like this tint. Um, okay, this has got to be Marcel, right? I think Marcel. Van Cottam, is that? Yeah, I'm guessing. Because you're really good at bringing in this light. I don't know how you're doing this. I mean, if you're doing this manually, it's really amazing. And if there's a software that does this, that's amazing. Or some combination thereof, right? But now this looks like a sunset shot. Yeah, Marcel. Good job, Marcel. Really nice. Um, I mean, it can be really dark, but still have some dynamic to it, right? And let's see. Wow, this got to be Marcel again. These reds, if you got rid of the reds, I think this would look better. The color contrast is a little bit strong here for me, but it's an interesting edit though. Really cool. Really good use of light. A little bit of light spots here and there. This little painting. You know, you just I assume you're using a little brush and just dropping some exposure comp in here, but this looks really good. Yeah, another one from Marcel. Good job, Marcel. Uh, yeah, Marcel is just a bot running these photos through some software and uploading. No, I don't think so. Because when I look at this image, I can clearly see he's light painting, you know, on this one. This is not some bot. And this one, same thing. He's definitely light painting. Software would not be able to distinguish this bridge and these people. You know, definitely, definitely he's doing this manually. And this one here, this is a good clean edit. I like the separation of the trees from the grass. Really good job doing that. Um, because the trees are very gray, right? And then the grass is more of this light yellow or mud color. Um, that's good. And then detail wise, good. Really brought out the fine details without over sharpening. A little bit over sharpening here. It's just a hair over sharpened, just a hair. I would dial back the detail slider a little bit, and then this would be perfect. But yeah, I do like the colors on this. The very soft blues and the soft yellows with the gray trees. Okay, I'm gonna say it's Walter again. Oh, Garrett. Okay, I give up. There's a couple of you guys are new here, so I'm, like Raho and Garrett, relatively new. Like I haven't seen a lot of things from you. You just joined recently, right? Um, this is an excellent edit too. Really good job processing. And the tones, I like the color palette. Marcel's confirming it is manual light painting. Yeah, definitely it is. I can see it. Um, not in an unnatural way, but in a way that I know a machine wouldn't be able to do. Artificial intelligence cannot light paint like that. At least not yet. We're not even close. And this one here, I bet Marcel would do an awesome job on that picture that Serge sent in with the X100 with the little like barn or shed with the tall tree line, the vertical shot. Because I did a tiny bit of light painting there, but Marcel would knock that out of the park, I bet. But anyhow, this one here, I like the color palette too. These very strong reds. Um, and then the trees are nice and black, right? Oh, thanks, Matt. Matt's gonna hit the like button. Good job, Serge. I like this. I like this. And of course, I always love the little vignette all the way around the frame. This looks good. And then this one here, wow. So this, how did you get everything green like this? This is interesting. And then very strong blues. Wow. I don't know how you got these greens. I mean, I would have a hard time doing this myself. I mean, you overshot the mark a little bit, here, right? It's kind of on the bridge. If you could have kept it off the bridge, maybe brush the bridge with a desaturation green. But anyhow, yeah, I like this is interesting. Did this one. Stephen Page. Okay. Wow, Stephen, that's interesting how you got the greens in there. And this one, wow, this is a very tight crop. Just got the couple in there. Good clean edit. Let me punch in a little bit. You can see where this lens is a little bit smeary on the ends, right? On the corners. This is the 14 to 150. Yeah, this is a nice clean edit. Nice and bright. I like this. DeMorgan. Okay, DeMorgan, good job. Very good job bringing up the I don't know, just bringing the exposure up without making it too busy, you know? It's the only way I can describe it. Yeah, I know, Anne. You couldn't do it either, right? I would have a hard time myself getting green, making those green. I'm gonna have to play around a little bit and see how that was done. Um, okay, who did this one? This one was it's DeMorgan. Okay, DeMorgan. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Oh, I bet this is DeMorgan too because he posted in my forum some other images that he did like this kind of processing. It's kind of a um I forget what he called it. I did see your posts though on these images, DeMorgan. Definitely oh, you blurred out some of the detail. Okay, so that's why. So it's not only the lens, you blurred out some on that last image. Okay, I get it. Yeah, this takes an image that's very gritty to begin with and just cranking it up even more. I don't, let me full screen it. I bet this would print better than it looks on the screen, you know? Because on screen, I'm not crazy about this on this particular image, but I think if this were printed, it would actually look really good. I bet this is DeMorkan, right? Yeah, I knew it. Because this was he had a couple images in the forum that look really good with this kind of processing. So if you go to my forum, you'll see it there. Um, yeah, this one is very soft, very low contrast, which gets rid of some of that busyness, right? Um, I like it though. I like it. It's just a little bit more calming. I mean, when we came from this one, then we go to this. It's like this feels like a relaxed, calm picture now. But let me see. This one, this is Dawood. Okay, Dawood, good job. Good job calming the scene down a little bit. Um, and that was the last one. Let me see if I can find mine. Like I said, I just took this picture. It's got to be in here. Now that I've seen all of your edits, it's kind of interesting. Did I? You can see I've been playing with white vignettes a lot this week. I didn't even flag it, so I didn't even like the image myself. So I gave it to you, dumped it on you guys to edit. Hold on, I know I did edit it. I just forgot to flag it. Got to be right in here somewhere. Here's my edit. So I did 16 by 9. It's okay. You guys did a much better job. Let me punch in. Yeah, it's a little bit. Eh, it's okay. I really like what you guys did much better than mine. All right, so that's the end of the editing. Awesome edits on my image, guys. Really good. And it was a lot of fun editing your images. I think a couple of them I was pretty proud of actually when I was done. You know, considering I just do them in 3, 4 minutes, right? Uh, but yeah, they were those were great edits all across the board today. So thanks for sending those in. Thanks for editing mine. I'll be back on Thursday for another live photo editing. And just remember, if you want me to critique them only and not do much editing, just rename the file or include in the file name the word critique. And then also remember in my forum, robtrek.com/forum, if you want other people to edit your photo, that might be kind of interesting. And then I can actually, what we can do is review them in the stream, right? Like I can live stream and show those links in the forum. That might be kind of fun. So I'll give that some thought. But either way, I'll be back on Thursday. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again soon.